Hi, I'm Hallie McClamroch. I am currently getting my master's in special education K through 6. I am a traditional MED graduate student. For our introduction post, we are to answer the prompt. It says, what would you say is the most pressing issue related to special education that people are not really discussing right now? Why do you feel this issue is critical, and be specific rather than give a general statement? So what I would say is the most pressing issue in special education right now is the growing gap between what students' IEPs legally promise to the student and what schools are realistically being able to give. So on papers, IEPs are becoming more complex and service heavy, which means that more minutes are required, more accommodations are required, more progress monitoring, more behavior supports, and as always, more documentation to go along with all of those supports. This is partly because teams want to do right by the students, but it's partly because districts are trying to protect themselves legally. However, even though the services are required and accommodations are required and all of those aspects that go into an IEP are becoming more heavy, the staffing and infrastructure to carry out these plans simply do not exist in many schools, especially in rural areas like I teach. So, for example, a single special education teacher might be responsible for anywhere from 25 to 40 students across multiple grade levels. And realistically, that's just impossible to get the proper services in place for some students. So also another issue would be like related service providers such as speech or psych. They may be shared across several schools, making IEP minutes technically written but functionally impossible to deliver consistently. And with this, general education teachers are expected to implement specialized accommodations without adequate training or planning time, which leads to uneven implementation. I see this quite a bit in my school where I currently teach. Our special education teachers are being spread thin and having to cover multiple grade levels with multiple students with multiple disabilities, and it just looks good on paper, but it doesn't necessarily look the best when it's actually implemented. So I would say that this issue is a pretty common issue, but it's pretty widespread as well.